The other day, I saw some poor workaday stiff slumped against the back wall of the clinic, and I told myself I would never let life beat me down like that. And I don't care who you are or how much money your daddy might have. I just believe that with grace and positive thinking, you can do anything you want. My famously positive clenched fist and best-known catchphrase, bash 'em, trash 'em, cash 'em, reflect that kind of gutsy can-do attitude. Tell you what, there's two kinds of people in this world. Those who just allow things to happen, and those who make things happen to other people.
For instance?
For instance, my opponent, Bob Droopy. Well, he's a swell Joe and all, but let's face it, Bob was a bit of a gambler when he last held this office. You know, when he was mayor, Bob bet on our kids with an expensive new stadium, and those kids lost, big time. I personally lost thousands, and that was just on one game.
I'm sorry, but you mentioned over the phone that you'd endured some life-threatening medical setbacks that you'd triumphed over.
Oh, yes.
Can we go into that, if it wouldn't be too painful?
10 years ago, I was cut off by another driver and suffered a hernia, but I never let it get me down, even though it meant jetting to the Mayo Clinic every weekend during prime golfing season. And then, while recovering on a trip to the islands, I hit upon the brainstorm that would make my name and good fortune. I was sharing a house with 6 other people, and things were just too confining, too naggy, if that's a word. So I got out and drove to the nearest bar, and then the bartender there poured me like the most perfect glass of beer ever.
And what was so special about it?
Oh, I don't know. I can't say really. It tasted better than any other beer I'd ever had before. It tasted like freedom. So I called up my 3 buddies. We were all only a few years out of college, and they dragged along their wives and everything. And I told them, you gotta try this beer. It's perfect. And they agreed. And on that firmament, we founded the famous line of His Honor's Pizza Pubberies. And the rest is history.
And then the Supreme Court ruled unconstitutional your guys-only admission policy, and your little chain of pizza parlors went belly up when the market crashed.
Yes. And not long after that, I was cut off in traffic by another driver. But the police tried to blame it on me being slightly intoxicated, even though I had a written note from my pharmacist that I was on cold medicine at the time.
Let me ask you something, Mr. Mayor. Not as a psychiatrist, because I'm not a psychiatrist, but as a documentary filmmaker.
Okay, I'm open.
What about your life demands to be turned into a movie that hasn't already been laid out in this glossy little book?
What do you mean?
Well, I think most viewers would question your self-made man story of rags to riches, simply because you started out rich and then lost all that, stupidly, recklessly, drunkenly, before catching another break through a smart marriage.
Poppycock! You think that just because I was born a mayor, I was made mayor? That's reverse discrimination.
Please. And your little raised fist salute, you do know that stands for Black Power, right?
But that gesture's been in my family for generations.
Perhaps this is so, sir. But if you will excuse me, I'm late for a very important nap.
I'll show you a fist of iron. That's what it took to found this fund. And now if that infernal bill should become federal law, even rich people like myself will be able to afford the high cost of socialized medicine.
Mr. Mayor, there's been some speculation that this might be just another of your self-serving scams, partly because you've in fact named it the Mr. Mayor Quality of Life Fund. Care to comment?
I do not feel that I'm being scamful.
Well, that's proof enough for this reporter.
Oh! I know. If I weren't completely committed to this cause, would I be planning at this very moment a benefit concert to feature all of Toyland's top musical talent?
You didn't tell me anything about that.
Shh. I just planned it.
Well, that'll be all, ladies and gentlemen. As I'm sure you will agree, I think you've done enough to this poor man.
Wait, perhaps one last photo with your famously positive clenched fist? The kids can't get enough of that.
Oh, well, why not? Of course.
Did you hear that scream?
Yes, That didn't sound very mayoral, let alone presidential. I can't wait to get this footage on the internet.
Couldn't we just say I had a flashback to some kind of Viet Cong butterfly torture that I endured as a POW?
Tempting, sir, but our survey says that at least 14% of most at-home viewers are smart enough to remember you spent the war at home. Though even your commanding officer can't remember exactly where.
Oh, well, maybe we can just say I was just being polite. You know, like when your nephew shows you how scary his Halloween costume is, and you don't want to let him down, so you scream a little.
I don't have a nephew.
But if you did...
In a word, no. And with respect, sir, this thing has all the earmarks of a classic, long-running viral video scandal. Small kids making an ass out of an adult, a funny scream, plenty of different camera angles for extended remixes, and that scream.
Yeah. I guess it would take something pretty horrible to get all those tongues wagging about something else. But what? If only there was a natural disaster, a hostage situation or something. Anything.
You don't think it's too politically symbolical?
They're adults. They can take it.
Inappropriate lyrics. Wouldn't that involve actual words?
I think that this sucks. I mean, not only did they reject our song, but it's like they rejected us, the Van Allen dolls.
Oh, pish-posh and poo-poo. You must think of this as a lesson in humility. It can't hurt to sometimes be kicked right in the teeth, though you may have smiled your very prettiest smiles, my dears. Sometimes even the most popular girls at school...
Hey, that's us.
Yes, we are most popular, especially with everyone.
Even the most popular... Well, I just think a little humility never killed anyone, whereas many are sickened by a healthy ego.
It actually gets worse. All this hemming you just did for our stage costumes, they're not going to pay you for it.
What?
Yeah, the benefit organizer turned down a request for stage clothing reimbursement.
But don't worry, you'll still be able to write this off on your taxes.
Swell. Some grateful increase. Darkly. But, of course, if you're not headlining the benefit, why should you get any special treatment?
Oh, we're headlining all right, but only the closing medley.
Closing medley?
Yeah, we had to badger the mayor a little bit, but we're doing an all-star disco medley of our greatest hits as a lead-in to this really cheesy crap metal version of Tomorrow I Shall Have Been Loving You Forever. It brings new meaning to the word vomitus, but the old folks will eat it up if they can just get past all the swear words.
But Tomorrow I Shall Have Been Loving You Forever was my mother's favorite song, and her mother's before that. I even had the lyrics tattooed on the backs of my eyelids so that I shan't ever forget them. Oh, and it's also my ringtone.
That should probably be a triple rather than a double stitch.
I love that song and cannot bear the thought of it being mutilated.
Well then, just wait until you hear our version. Yeah, it looks like you got a little sloppy there.
Oh, yes. Just wait, my dears.
So, can you really think of a more awesome way to end our set than by smashing my favorite acts to bits at the end of a big solo, like, man?
I just hate to see any instrument get smashed, even a cheap knockoff like that one. But I guess it's for a good cause.
Dude, who you calling cheap? This guitar means everything to me, man. It's rich in sentimental value for the autograph alone.
Yeah, but that's your signature.
That's not just a signature, it's an autograph. And that's my shirt, Tommy.
I only borrowed it for tonight.
You didn't just borrow my shirt, Tommy. You, stole my look. A look that, took me years to perfect.
Dude, please. You look like the Pillage people.
What? Which one?
All of them.
So you're saying I look gay now?
So you're saying I look gay now?
Boys, could we hear some music now?
Sure thing, Doc. Ladies and gentlemen, we are Torch and the Tortures. And this song just came out last week on our new CD. So if you only know us from what you heard on the radio...
On the radio?
You better pray that those seats...
New CD?
Come with safety belts, man.
Dude, we've never even hit a record button.
Don't matter. Don't spoil my moment.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Kick him in the crotch. 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 Kick him in the crotch!
Rock and roll!
They're done!
She stole my moment, man.
This really hasn't been his day.
What an evil song, huh? Other young people that you see on the news may be just trash and scum, but these are nice kids, so let's give them a big hand. And now, our benefit director, Judge Sally Smothers, MD.
Thanks, dear. And thank you for your support and for paying $2 each to listen to music that cost us $1.75 a head to stage for your benefit.
Are you being sarcastic?
We are literally only hours away from a cure.
How many
But we
hours?
still need your support, so won't you please lend a hand for Ferlin Reed, country music's vagabond scofflaw.
Yep. Sweet Sadie Rot Crotch, she's the gal for me. Sweet Sadie Rot Crotch, she got a rat-a-tat-tat-dee-dee-dee. Sweet Sadie Rot Crotch, sweet sassy frassy tea. Sweet Sadie Rot Crotch, man, she's the gal, the only gal. For one time this here Jezebel reeled in without a pole. The soul of a man hold up in a beer can, and that's the greatest story ever done told. Yep.
Why exactly was our song rejected for inappropriate lyrics in favor of this filth?
Your song? Was it called Shangalagala something? Well, the reason we rejected your lyrics is because they probably took you all of 3 minutes to write.
No, the name of the song is Shangalanga Boom Boom, and it took us almost 3 hours to write.
Yeah, that's the one, all right.
Sweet Sadie Rat Crotch, the sweetest sassy brassy tea. Sweet Sadie Rat Crotch, I've done her tell. She's got the hots for me. Sweet Sadie Rat Crotch, Sweet Sadie Rat Crotch. Hot damn, yes ma'am. A pretty little lady named Rat Crotch.
Thanks, Ferlin. And now, I'd just like to take this moment to remind everyone that this benefit is for crutches rather than crotches. No thanks to that unfortunate typo in our call for entries.
But I wrote that song for my mama.
Hey girls. Boom, 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 ba-doom, ba-doom, boom, boom. Real nice disco crap. Now me and the boys are gonna totally blow you off the stage, man.
We're already off the stage.
Damn it.
Gee, maybe we were a little ungrateful for Mr. Bitchy's services. We didn't even thank him.
Yeah, and that song seemed to mean so much to him. I don't think he wants to hear it given anything but a reverential treatment.
But I hate that song.
Yeah, it really sucks.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Am I ever not?
Just enough juice to stun, but not kill, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well then, it's showtime. We're experiencing minor technical difficulties, so we're not going to do the originally scheduled song.
Plus, it's a song that really means much to someone who really means much to us. And we would rather not play it than ruin it.
Yeah, so we thought we might do our usual soulless Hollywood sing-along instead. Come on, everybody, let's put on a show. Mr. Stapleton, do you know Dr. Schlepper's social network band?
And the one, and the two, and the
We're Dr. Schlepper's social network band, with tales that we're told nice and slow. We're Dr. Schlepper's social network band, and we know you really love our show.
50 some odd years ago, Schlepper found that rabbit hole on which he founded his fantastical social network band.
We're allegorical, phantasmagorical. We're Dr. Schlepper's social network band. They share the rhyme so miserably, but maybe it's just company. You see, did no one ever tell you how to be happy? Man, it's like no one taught you how to be. Dr. Schlepper's social network band. Sing like mama over the road. With Dr. Schlepper's social network band, we pick guitars up as you go. We're unalloyed, so simply unavoidable. Dr. Schlepper's social network band. And if love weren't free for all, there'd be a free for all.
But if you want to set your sitar free, get a guitar in your band. I can't bear to watch this abomination. Now's the time to spring my insidious plan.
So welcome to the Human Zoo. Hooray for us and boo to you. We're Dr. Schlepper's social network band. We're non-employable. Knock you to the floor of them. Dr. Schlepper's purely metaphorical social network band.
Hello.
Now listen closely.
Thank you for your donation of time and or money. Our show may be coming to a close, but you can still get in on the fun.
Now she's suggesting that I pester all of my friends to underwrite my attempt at a 5K underwear as outerwear fun walk. Hello?
Oh, and you know what else you can do to help the Mr. Mayor Quality of Life Fund?
Would you please just shut up for one moment, woman? I called you. Let me talk. My God, you're like a fat man trying to shove his way onto a crowded elevator before any of the passengers have had a chance to get off.
Whoa.
Let me get right to
I
the
can't
point.
hear you too well because it sounds like someone stuffed a towel into your mouth.
I'm calling about not just a possible, but a very, very probable bomb.
But are you saying what I think you're saying?
Yes, those Van Allen dolls would be the death of you all. Why, their garish mix of disco hits and gassy show tunes will simply bomb.
Oh,
I mean, it will all just blow up in their stupid faces. It will stink to kingdom come. They're going to die on that stage. Do you hear me?
Really, the only nice thing I can say about them is that I simply adore their stage finery.
Performers must not hear what I have to say, so let's whisper. Everybody's having a wonderful time. The show is going great.
Yes, it is.
What's wrong? We done good. raised a lot of money tonight. Bomb threat. If the music stops, they'll be blown up. And you might want to button your top.
Hey, thanks. That would have been really embarrassing.
Okay then. We won't tell them that they'll be blown to bits if they stop singing and dancing.
Will soon be history.
Yes, that just occurred to me.
The caller is described as having a buoyant, almost flamboyant speaking style. He did not claim responsibility for the bomb, but did indicate it would be detonated. There were no casualties, and in fact,
the ruse was only discovered when performers began passing out from exhaustion with no consequent pyrotechnics.
It is hoped by officials that this
was simply a prank and not part of some greater
terror campaign.
What a strange non-event. And the networks would get a full week of coverage out of the raw footage. But what if some unscrupulous sort would have turned this whole debacle to his advantage? Someone named the Black Panther, perhaps. What? 6 million hits. Okay, then how about the Gray Panther? Pink. Perhaps something other than a panther. Vagabond lover? Velvet frog? Who are these people? Damn it!
You fools! You all sleep so soundly at night, thinking that no harm can ever hurt you. But you know what? You're just lucky that Mr. Mayor was taking a bath at the time and could not be reached for a swift and merciless contingency plan. You think my opponent, mayoral candidate Bob Droopy, would know how to handle a bomb threat like that? I don't. Just who am I, you ask? You may call me a nudger.
Picture the points of peeking. This camera is creepy. Inside, and I'm thinking he's seeking that unspeakable gleam in your eyes. I wrote you this sonnet and fell back upon it. That's untrue. I would lie to you. Some sweet secret, surprising sunrise. I will be your inspiration. Be my pen and kind. And all our dreadful hopes and dreams shall forever be entwined. Although I fear what we might find. The looking glass is laughing back and forth. As though you know that in the back of my head I hold a piece of your time.